What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by Autobahn. My name is Martin, and today we are taking a look at one of the most highly anticipated cars of 2026, I think, the VW Golf GTI Mark 8.5 edition 50, celebrating 50 years of this iconic hot hatch. Now, it's got quite the challenge because I think the normal GTI 8.5 is such a good car, and we've already driven the normal one and the Club Sport. I think the normal one is just fine. I like what it represents, what it is. Just a fast, beautiful daily driver that you can really enjoy on the B road. This promises to be something ready for the track, something you wouldn't do with the normal GTI without modifications, of course. So it should be a lot more sporty, a lot more direct. It should give you that adrenaline from behind the wheel. Now, I think the toughest challenge for this car is beating one of its nephews, the Cupra Leon 310, the front wheel driven version of the Cupra Leon, with basically the same recipe, same engine, same gearbox, stuff like that. I think that was a brilliant car, and I really expect this to be a lot better because it's a lot more expensive. So of course this is equipped with the optional performance package, so that means we do have the limited slip diff, these beautiful wheels, the Akrapovic exhaust. It's lowered by 5 mil, and it's got recalibrated dampers. It's got different wheel hubs, and that ensures that we can now do -2 degrees of camber, so they're a bit more tilted like that, which gives it a more sharp front end. And with a normal Club Sport you would get 1.3% of negative camber, so that promises a lot. Optionally, you can get semi-slick tires. Unfortunately, this one is equipped with the normal Bridgestone Potenza race tires, just a street tire. Now, the must-have is the color. This is dark moss green, an absolutely beautiful color for this special edition. And it's to celebrate, as I said, 50 years of GTI. So its birthday only lasts for 2026, so then they will stop production for this car. It is quite expensive though, so you would have to look up your local pricing, but you do have to spec the performance package, so that's another 4,000 euros in the case of the Netherlands. So it is quite expensive, a lot more expensive than that Cupra. You also get these perforated brake discs, and they've done everything they could to make it the most sporty GTI there is. Little roof spoiler right there, and a badge, GTI 50. There's another badge on the mirror. Where's it? Oh, it's right there on the inside, so your passenger knows you have the most expensive GTI. Available on AliExpress soon. As I said, it's got the titanium Akrapovic exhaust. Doesn't sound all too exciting, I have to admit, but you know, you want it, right? It's lighter, which helps, I guess. The engine is the usual suspect, EA888. We know it from, well, basically any performance VW or Cupra or other VW group brands, Audi S3, stuff like that. There it is. We still don't get a strut, which I think is hilarious. It's got the ugliest of engine covers. This is like, I bought a Dacia, I think. Super cheap, thin plastic. 7-speed DSG gearbox, 0 to 100 5.3 seconds, although it's quicker than that. Top speed 270 kilometers an hour. Luckily you don't have to spec some kind of performance option to get that. It's 270 as stock, but we do get 60 extra horsepower compared to a normal GTI and 25 compared to the Club Sport, so that's quite good news. And they also changed all the bushings and as I said, more camber, than the Club Sport, so in total it means it has 12% less roll than the Club Sport, so that's good. Now let's see what that adds up to. On the inside, the only thing you get are these floor mats with the GTI 50 logo on there. As I said, the sticker is on the mirror cap right there. Alcantara steering wheel, little badge right there. Red pedals, really cool. And these lovely GTI seats with that typical GTI pattern on there, which I think is superb. But as I said, the main competitor for this is its nephew, the Cupra Leon front wheel driven. And in that you can get the full carbon sabled seats, so I think that's a plus for the Cupra, to be honest. So you get all these different driving modes. Now the one you will need to spec is individual, that's a really important one. But we'll start in sport, and then when you hit sport you can also select special, which is the Nürburgring mode. So you can hear that the RPM increases slightly at idle. And then we're going to stick it into sport mode. And turn off start stop, ESC sport mode. We're going to switch off all the nannies. There we go. Another one. Like that. So, as I said, you really have to spec individual, and this is what you need to spec it to. So we have the dynamic damper control from VW, which is really nice how variable it is. You can select a lot of different modes. So this is where normally comfort sits, this is where sport sits. So you can go beyond that, so you can make it more comfortable or more sporty than its presets. Other than that, I've got everything into sport mode, but this is the Autobahn setting basically, because it's actually quite harsh, the suspension is. It's quick. From the moment you get in it, you're like, yeah, that's some serious performance for a front wheel driven hothatch. So we have that optional Akrapovic exhaust. Doesn't sound too exciting, very underwhelming, have to admit, but you know, everyone's going to spec it. I'm quite confident you will never spot a single GTI 50 without the Akrapovic, because you will never be able to sell it, I guess. So, gearbox, DSG 7. It's okay, it's not super rapid, but it's nice and responsive. That's about it. Limited slip diff. Quite clever. It's really cooperating well with the ESC system, so especially if you have it in sport mode, it's doing these little tiny interventions that help you through the corner, and it just pulls you in. Now in ESC sport mode you also get launch control, of course, so just stick it into Sport Plus for the gearbox. Left foot on the brake, build up the revs, and there we go. Little hesitation, it's front wheel driven, a lot of power, so that makes perfect sense. And that's 100 in officially 5.3 seconds, but I managed to do it in 5 seconds. So it is really quick, and quite a lot quicker than what they claim. 0.3 of a second, that's very significant. Although, you know, it's not really relevant. It's a track weapon, this. It's made for B roads. It's not to do launch controls and stuff like that. If you want that, go and get yourself a Golf R. It's made to do cornering, and it's made to get you excited. Now, it's quite good at doing that, but I don't think it's more exciting to drive than that Cupra, which again is a lot cheaper. it just lacks a raw edge, I think. I expected it to be a little more hardcore, like it would get under your skin, like a Honda Civic Type R does, the FL5. Because they wanted this to be the Nürburgring record that's held by that damn Honda. Which is just such a good engine, such a good car, such a magnificent 6-speed gearbox manual, and that's what they don't offer. They don't offer a manual option like they did with, for instance, the Mark 7 Club Sport S. It's all a bit civil. It's not a car that gets under your skin, and that's just what's missing. It's super capable, it's super fast, it's very nice to drive, but it never sort of misbehaves, or it's never like truly on edge. It's predictable, it's fast, it's doing exactly what you want it to. But it's just a sharper version of the normal GTI, which isn't sufficient, I think, for such a special edition. It is very quick on the Autobahn though, very, very quick. This is an AMG GT 53. I'm confident I'm quicker than that. Ah, come on. He also knows I'm quicker than him. To 200, 10.15 seconds. Now that is seriously quick for just 325 horsepower. That's insane. Brake pedal is really good, like it's right on top there. The moment you feed it some kind of brake pressure, it really bites and holds on. Good feedback through the pedal. Although after some hard braking, they do start to like shake a bit. They become a bit rattly. That little edge that I'm missing currently, they might have it with the semi-slick tires, but that's my indirect invitation to VW to make sure I get to drive it with the semi-slick tire. That would be quite awesome to do, I guess. And there's a little vibration at times from the interior trim at a certain RPM, a certain sort of turbo pressure. There's this little vibration that's quite, yeah, not all that nice. So, in my opinion, it's just as good a GTI as the normal GTI, and it's just as good a track weapon as the Cupra Leon. So stop calling me, please. I'm a bit lost to the added value of this GTI Edition 50. It does look really, really good. You know, it's sort of a limited edition, so people will want to buy it, I'm sure. And it doesn't disappoint. It's very, very good. It just doesn't surprise me at all. think it should have been more of a statement like the Mark 7 Club Sport S, which was quite hardcore, quite un-VW to do that. This is too similar. This is too much a Club Sport, but a bit quicker. Check out the difference. I'm going to stick it from the softest into the hardest, like that. Now it's rock solid. That's really cool. It is super like planted though. It's such a secure car at any speed, even at top speed. That was it, 278. Okay guys, so that was it. I really honestly wanted to be over the moon about this car. I'm just not. I have to admit, I'm not. But you might have noticed. It is very good though. If you want one, if you're like a GTI nut, go get it. It'll be everything you want it to be. So, thanks to you guys for watching. VW, can I please have it with the decent tires on? Maybe I'll get a bit more excited, right? Maybe take it to the Nürburgring, something like that. That would be fun, right? Okay guys, thank you for watching. Hope to see you at the next video. Please subscribe to our channel. You would really help us out. Go check out the playlist or this video. Bye guys.